Assalamualaikum and hello YouTube, my name is Nur Muhammad from NMWatch and we are back with another comparison review video, right? So this time around we're looking at both of these two different watches, but the same, almost the same theme here. So this is my comparison between the Seestern 600T and the St. Martin SN0067, right? So one look at it, you guys know what these watches are homaging, but one is a homage and one is an inspired design watch, right? So which one do I like, or which one do I prefer, or which one would you buy, would you go for? Let's cue the intro. Alright guys, so welcome back to my comparison review video of these two awesome watches, right? So let's just quickly briefly go through the set dimension sets of these two pieces. The Seestern, it has a 40mm, right? So 40mm in diameter, 13.5 millimeters of thickness, lug to lug of 48.1 from here to here. But if you include this male end link here, it will be about 52.8 and a thickness of 13.5 and a lug width of 20 millimeters. So on my 6.75 inch wrist, so it will weigh on this bracelet at about 168 grams, right? So that is the Seestern. Let's talk the set dimension of this St. Martin SN0067, 40.2 millimeters in diameter from here to here, and a thickness of just 12.2 millimeters and a lug to lug of 47 millimeters. And what with this protruding male end link, it will be about 52 millimeters and lug width of 20 millimeters. But because this is a much thinner watch, right? So the on this bracelet, size for my wrist, 151.4 grams, right? So basically, based on that one fact alone, the weight alone, this one will be a much better wearer, right? So okay, the biggest problem for me of this Seestern is that it doesn't improve over the watch that it tries to homage, right? So, or try to copy, right? So the original 600T from that D brand, the thickness is about 14.5 millimeters. So this one, I don't know why they couldn't do it, but basically what they need to do is just shave 1 millimeters off this mid case here, right? So maybe here, and you can get something like this, right? So which is much thinner and much more comfortable on the wrist, right? So speaking about on the wrist, you know what, let's just take it off, put it on the wrist and see what do I mean by that. Before we do that, let's do a quick wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my AliExpress 5303, a very controversial watch homaging a certain micro brand, right? So I'm not going to be mentioning the name, but still this one is again much it adds more controversy because of the dial that they sent the updated dial, not as per their listings, right? So anyway, so let's just quickly put the 600 Seestern on 600T on my wrist, right? So let's see what I'm talking about. So you can see that there is a big gap there because of the thickness, right? So, and of course lug to lug is okay, not that bad, but still that big gap really annoys me. I mean, compared to this one is quite a top heavy watch, right? So, and the bracelet, of course there's much flex compared to the St. Martin, but it doesn't really pull my arm hair or anything like that. But yeah, still a much more top heavy feeling watch, right? So but on the contrary, so the St. Martin SN0067, so it has this, the bracelet is not that jingly, so compared to the Seestern there, right? So, and when you wear it on the wrist, you can see that it sits much flatter, much closer to my wrist, because there is there's not big, you can still find gaps, but not as bad as the Seestern, right? So that is, in my opinion at least, the St. Martin SN0067 is much better wearer, right? So let's just go to point number 2, right? So which is the bezel action, right? So the Seestern came with this. There are two versions of this, right? So one is the stainless steel version and one is the ceramic bezel insert version. Oops, I'm so sorry about that. So yeah, I prefer ceramic bezel insert any time of the day, right? So this one, the Saint Martin doesn't come with ceramic bezel insert, so instead it only comes on this aluminum bezel insert, right? So of course this one will be more hard wearing, and it looks, you know, almost similar to the watch that it tries to homage, right? So, and the side of the bezel, see this, what do you call this design here is easy to grip, and the bezel action is nice. Okay, so, and I think on my version it doesn't really lines up, so just a tad to the left, right? So, and there's not many back play on this particular bezel, right? So on the contrary, this is the weakest point of this Saint Martin, because the bezel, right? So the bezel, of course, although it is tiny, so the design is almost similar. So yeah, it's a bit thinner compared to the Seestern here, and alright, so there's, you see that there's quite a huge back play there, and then the sound, yep, I just don't like that tiny sound, right? So it gives a feeling of, you know, cheapness, and yeah, of course that huge back play there, yeah, I just don't like it. But still, yeah, not really that bad. But if you want to compare, yeah, this is the weakest point of this particular watch, right? So we've done talking about the bezel, and we will go next for the dial enhanced design, right? So obviously this is an homage or clomage of the 600T, and you can you can tell that everything is copied to the T, right? So even the shape of the indices, shape of the hands, and although I don't really like the original 600T handsets, because for me our hands is a bit too short, but this is my version, is the version 2, so they have somehow made it longer and bigger. And even they also have the version 3, which is the width of our hands is the same as the mini hands, which is okay, not that bad, right? So of course, we have this matte blue dial with the printed indices with this orange outline, and we have the date at 3 o'clock, and with this asymmetrical printing of the brand logo, Seestern, and automatic 200 meters. And the handset, of course, mimics the real thing, and yeah, which is not a bad thing if you like clomage, right? So yeah, that's that. And this is the Saint Martin. So they have taken some design cue of the 600T, but they don't follow the whole thing, right? So I mean, I think they try to improve and give their own version, right? So you can see that the indices, of course, same again, printed, and also we have these orange outlines, and the hands are also again orange outline with this white owl hands, which for me is better compared to the Seestern because it is longer and thicker, right? So, and they don't have that asymmetrical logo and automatic diverse printing design, right? So, and the dial is enamel blue dial, which looks very deep, and the second hand has this hexagon style lollipop and that one is rectangular, so which is cool, and it doesn't have any date wheel, right? So both of these are using this one is using NH35, that's why we have the wheel here. This one is using YN55, and it does have a ghost date position, which is annoying to some, but for me, I don't really care about it, right? So let's just go to the crown, right? So I totally forgot to mention about the crown. This one, it has this signed 6.5 millimeters diameter crown. So, and operating the crown is not that easy because you don't really have that much of a grip there, right? So easy, but still a unique design by the original manufacturer and copied by Seestern, which is okay, not that bad. Operating it is easy enough, and screwing it back in, yes, is easy enough. So the only gripe that this one is, it has this polished surface here. Maybe if you guys are handling it long term, you will get scratched just by screwing it in and out, right? So but on the contrary, so the Saint Martin has a 7.0 millimeters in diameter crown, and it is easy to use because we have more you have more metal here, easy to use. It is screw back in, and we have that Saint Martin hexagon logo stamp on the crown, and yeah, much easier to use crown, right? So that is about the crown. So next up is the shape case. So again, brush finishing on circular brush finishing on the top for the Saint Martin, and we have this beautifully done polished bevel. All right, so running from the just at the top of the case here, which is beautiful. Right, so this is your typical St. Martin high quality finishing there. Very, very nice. Then let's just zoom it. Oh, see there, very, very nicely done. Right, so and the Seestern, right, so again brush finishing, but you can't really see from the top the grain, the lines of the brush finishing. And we have again this beautifully done beveling on the side of the case as well, right? So you see that it doesn't really slope. The design is quite flat here, and the St. Martin also the same, but you see the lux here, it turns down. That makes it, you know, sits much more comfortable while it is on the wrist, right? So of course it looks like a turtle case shape here versus the much more barrel design here, right? So this looks like a barrel, this one looks like a turtle, so if that makes sense, right? So you can see here the design cue is different compared to when we compare this side by side, right? So next up is the bracelet. So this is where the Seestern, for me at least, it's just a not downfall, but there is a bit of minus points here. So you see the end links here, it doesn't really match the side of the lug, right? So you see that there's a protruding bit here, so it doesn't really look good in my opinion. So the fit to the bracelet is nice, not that bad, right? So, and of course we have this mill end links here with a polished chamfering here on the end link and chamfering on the inner side of the bracelet. So, and the links are quite small, and it has polishing on the side of the bracelet, and we have that huge what do you call this jingly feeling here. And yeah, but yes, the fit and finish is nice, and the class is using this milled swing arm here with a 6 micro adjust, right? So alright, so it's a bit flat in my opinion, so it needs to have a bit of curve, and you see that, yeah, that kind of bugs me a bit, right? So, and a Seestern logo with this polish fold over, which will scratch from time to time, right? So of course we have a screwed links, which is a bit small, and you have to be really careful when screwing it out, right? So okay, so let's just compare that to the the St. Martin. This one, the fit of the end link is way much better, right? So you don't see any protruding end link here, which for me it means that they are paying attention to the design of the watch, right? So and you see there's virtually no play here. So again, polish finishing on the at the tip of the end link, and polish finishing at the inner side of the bracelet, right? So brush finishing on the side, brush finishing on the top, and the jingliness is less compared to the Seestern, right? So and this class from St. Martin is just superb. So I just prefer this dual push button style class, and this swing arm here, it curves more and it gives more comfort to the wrist while you are wearing it, right? So of course it doesn't have 6 micro adjust, but because the links are short enough, and the screw pins screwed pins is much bigger, 1.6 millimeters, so screwing it out and screwing it in and out, so it's much more easier to do, right? So yep, overall I prefer the bracelet on the St. Martin, right? So doesn't mean that this is bad though, but yeah, still it somehow feels a bit cheap, right? So of course if you compare it with the price this is, you know, you will know why is that. Right, so let's go to next one, which is the case back, right? So this is where the Seestern again triumph over the St. Martin, because it has this beautifully done what do you call this engraving, right? So, and the good thing is that the engraving is sunken down, right? So I do think that if they manage to reduce the thickness of this one, they can give much more comfort to the wrist, right? So but that if this is protruded out, so it will reduce the height, and yeah, I think that is what they should do. But as of now, it doesn't hurt the wrist. So this one, it doesn't have any sharp edges whatsoever, so that means this is still comfortable. It doesn't irritate your skin. And on the contrary, the St. Martin, of course, as usual, doesn't have any engraving whatsoever. I don't know, guys. So St. Martin seems to be a bit lazy on the case back design, but yeah, still, if it means that the comfort on the wrist is better, yeah, I would take a slimmer watch compared to a thicker watch, right? So any time of the day, right? So let's just compare the lume, right? So the lume, both of these featuring a BGW9 Super Luminova, but the Seestern has a bit of a party trick there, right? So you guys ready? 3, 2, 1, and boom, right? So both of them are good in the lume application, but I can tell you that yeah, let's talk about the party trick first. That lume did will awesome job by Seestern there, right? So yeah, I don't think Saint Martin will ever do a loomed date wheel anytime soon, but in reality, which one is better at holding their charge? I can say the Saint Martin does it better. So I don't know how they do it, how many application or how many layers of application that they put on this dial on and on the hands, but they do stay much longer compared to the Seestern, right? So this is just my observation, guys. You guys might not agree, because I don't really think there are many people out there who owns both of this in their collection, but yeah, still. Okay, so let's talk about strap compatibility. Okay, so now both bracelets of these two watches are off, but before I completely forget, I forgot to mention just now about the taper used on this particular bracelet. So the Saint Martin tapers down from 20 to 16 millimeters, which is the my favorite taper on a watch bracelet, but the Seestern basically following the copying the original design tapers from 20 to 18 millimeters, which, you know what, is a shame because they could have done better, right? So yeah, that's number 2. So, and taking off the bracelet is very annoying, especially on the Seestern, because there's not that much gap on this particular case design, right? So you see the holes is there, so it's very tight and very close to the watch case, and versus that, so the Saint Martin gives a whole lot more space here, and this is, you know what, when I put it on the wrist, on a strap, so you see that. Okay, let's just compare this, your normal watch, right? So as if, for example, this IX dial, so you see that there's quite a lot of gap there, but on both of these two watches the gap is gonna be quite close, right? So let's just show you. This is basically the exact same and your typical FKM rubber that you can get from AliExpress. So the tip of the thickness of this particular strap is not that thick. So let's just put it on the Saint Martin and see how it looks, or how easy it is to put it on. So you can see that there is no you can easily put any aftermarket strap as long as it is not that thick, but this one is, you can see just now it's still thick, but yeah, not that thick, right? So, and when you put it and like so, it is easier to do, right? So yeah, so you can always swap it out to another rubber strap or leather strap, or even NATO strap, right? So this is how the Saint Martin looks on a rubber FKM rubber strap, but when you try to put it the exact same rubber strap on the Seestern, let's just show you what I mean. Because of the gap, the distance between the case to the holes, right? So you can see that, yeah, it kind of stuck there. So this means that you can only put a rubber strap on this, an aftermarket rubber strap on this. If you try to put a leather strap, it will hurt the end of the tip of your rubber strap, which is, you know, it's a bit annoying, because yeah, I want to preserve my end of rubber, my leather strap on this. Yeah, so you can of course use this on a rubber strap, but still that's just it, right? So let's just put it on other straps on this particular Saint Martin, right? So yeah, again, easy to fill in, right? So see, this one is a bit thicker, but it is still okay, not that bad as the Seestern, right? So okay, so that is how it looks on this, both the Seestern and the Saint Martin, right? So for me, strap compatibility, it is a win to the Saint Martin, right? So anyways, my final conclusion of these two watches, right? So I forgot to mention about the price. So the price, the Seestern, the version 2 at least, I think they have it on sale like a few days back, for I think you can get this the aluminum bezel insert for about $125 US, which is a bargain. But now they have increased in price again because of the V3. I think you can get this at about 180 something. But this one, the Saint Martin, right? So you can get this now for $142 US, which is for me a bargain, because not many people know about the the uniqueness of this particular piece. So of course there are many people that has commented on my previous video saying that the design sucks on this Saint Martin SN0067, but for me, design is a personal thing, and I do think that based on the facts that I have presented today, I think that this is a much better design. But still, if you prefer the design of that particular 600T, this one is the better option for you, right? So if you like the design, but if you want to go for value for money, I definitely go for this Saint Martin, right? So there you have it, guys, my full comparison between these two awesome watch. If I am to keep one, which one would I keep? That is a difficult question, but I would keep the Saint Martin, right? So just because I think it is much better and improved design over the real thing, but still not a bad choice. The Seestern really is, right? So if you guys like this comparison video review, please give me a big thumbs up, and if you want to see more future video reviews such as this one, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Stay safe and bye bye.